I shouldn't even said that because y'all wouldn't even know that I was here. But we're gonna do a message real quick. I need some chapstick and I don't have none. We're gonna do a message though for this transitioning from Cancer to Leo energy, or experience that we're going through right now, and I guess the remembrance of Cancer season. Cancer is water, and we're still in Cancer at the moment, so this is a good time to hold on to the memories, or to hold on to the lessons, and to make mental note, set importance to the findings that you have, or continuing your findings and your because I be talking from my perspective. I know everybody don't think like that, but from my perspective, I'm just watching and holding on to the studies and gathering information and whatnot, and learning and applying and making sure that I maintain. Mm. Yeah, making sure you maintain. Meaning, don't put no extra bullshit on your plate for no random ass reason. It needs to be important. All right, that's enough shuffle. What up, whoever in the chat? I just felt the need to jump on real quick. We got Aquarius come out. This one hiding. What is this? It act like it was trying to be sneaky. This bitch was being sneaky. In the fifth house, what you're entertained by. Don't let some shit you entertained by slip up under your radar and you take it as it's cool. And really, the bitch is a sneak. The way that bitch slid down the side of the thing, of the chair. But anyways, one more astro deck. In the fourth house. So we got Aquarius, the fifth house, and the fourth house. From the fifth house is Leo. That's the season we're about to enter in. The fourth house is Cancer. That's the current season that we're in. Then we got the visionary of Aquarius. This is the networking. This is the collective. This is wider than the community. This will be a wider perspective of the thoughts. This will be a going out of bounds, really, when it comes to the way you're looking at things, looking at stuff outside of the box, for real. Because most people don't do that. Most people in the collective don't do that. But maybe people are beginning to do that on a collective level, understanding that the basic ass shit that we are taught that is important and how we should view life and maneuver through life, people are expanding through that, and it could be through what they're entertained by and applying that to the household. I don't know. But let's go a little bit further though. I'm gonna open up. Should I do a number card? Should I do a number card, or should I do? We're gonna do a feeling card first. We're gonna do a emotion card first, color card. Then we'll do a number card. Because how do we feel about this transition in the moment that we are experiencing? Because people, okay, so the collective, through what they have experienced. Ooh, my hands are so ashy. Wow. Let me stop shuffling. Through what they have experienced, have gained some sort of wider perspective on who they are as individuals, which is going to cause a unique difference in reality, for real. On a wider perspective, and how that's going to look, I don't know, but things play out differently now because of the different perspectives that individuals have finally understood that they don't have to have or share with everybody else. Like, you don't supposed to feel about nothing the same way that somebody else do. As a matter of fact, you can't, bitch. You could think y'all got the same idea, but you don't know what that person and how they looking at whatever they looking at. Even if y'all think y'all talking about the same shit. And to be in awareness of that, I believe that's what this energy is speaking on. Being an awareness on a collective level that people are different, and that's cool. That's how it's supposed to be. But also have respect too, though. And that's what's going to draw the lines and create the boundaries if you already have respect for yourself and how you think and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because as above, so below. What you give out is what you receive. How you feel about yourself is how people will feel about you. How you look at life, life will begin to unfold in that manner. And if everybody on an individual's unique scale is doing this, well, hey, we can't predict what the fuck how things gonna happen. Whether that's good or bad, but that leaves a window of opportunity for all possibilities to take place. Now let me pull a card real quick. Like the chat up. Like me up. We're gonna see how we feeling about this change. Then we're going to go into the mental realm with the number cards. That's how we're going to do that. Sadness. Ugh. Who feels sad? Because sometimes people, that's why people like to be in those like cults. I don't want to say cults. That's not the correct, that is the right word, but to make it actually make sense on this is why people like to be in like the groupings, like sororities and gangs and religions or whatever the fuck. But once there's a separation from individual to individual, understanding that their space cannot and should not, and is a detriment when it is attempted to be shared with somebody else. You can't do that. That's going to hinder who you are, and it's going to be an improportionate, which is going to create the same scenario and dynamic to happen in the exchange of life. People are realizing that, and that's creating sadness for some. And the only reason why it's creating sadness is because the motherfucker don't have the footing in who they are. Because that really should be the opposite polar perspective of happiness. Understanding that, oh, I got my own power. I don't even need nobody. People look at that as sad. Like, nobody can help me type shit. Nobody can ever understand. That's sad. But they got to switch the perspective, though. Alrighty? Everything I touch turns into an oasis. An oasis of what, though? Because look up the word oasis. I wish I could look it up real quick. Matter of fact, I'm finna. Hold on. Okay. A fertile spot in, what it said? I think nature. A fertile spot in nature where water can be found. Okay. So whatever you touch multiplies. So be careful as to what you touch. Be careful as to what you pay attention to with that fifth house energy. Be careful to what you go close to you, because that be the thing. That's true. It don't matter if you believe it or not. You know how people be saying, well, if that's the truth, then turn this water into wine like they did Jesus or whatever. But they're not knowing that this shit is what you're doing all the time. Regardless of if you believe it or not, you think life is happening to you and something just did something to you, not realizing that you created the shit along with life. Like, this is a simultaneous thing. So yes, everything that you touch will become an oasis. It'll become fertile. It will multiply. My mouth's so dry. Hold on. So therefore, be careful as to what you pay attention to, how you're paying attention to it. And if you're not clear on the intentions within, create them at that moment and see if they line up with your feelings and your emotions and what makes sense in the reality. And if they don't, switch it up. But, you know, even with situations that you can't necessarily change, that you're just going through, put your mind on them and decide to look at it differently, like consciously. Like, sometimes it'd be a hard transition because you got to move the feelings and the thoughts together. They got to be aligned together in order to switch the inner narrative. So it's a working process if you don't realize that you have that power. But just like these people with the sadness type shit they got going on, because they're realizing that they have to set their own stages, they have to have love for themselves. Nobody can love them and then that just be enough. It's sad for them, but all they got to do is see a different perspective of that, but they will have to see themselves, and that's the process right there. That's the process that takes just like when you're in a situation and it be fucked up and you know that you can change. It ain't got to be a situation. It could just be something that you're pondering over that got your mind kind of razzled, and you know damn well, because I was just in this situation the other day. You know damn well, and it ain't got to be something that you razzled about. It could be something that you're very excited and happy for, but you're just being giddy in the moment, and you're not really, that's not even the correct intention for that scenario after it plays out. It's just that your emotions are so giddy. So you got to actually change your thoughts and the emotions to switch the narrative of what's going on. So it may take it may take time just to be or sit in the moment, watch things play out, which is going to shift your internal reactions and whatnot, and that could help things to switch. But the point, I'm getting off topic. The point is that you can switch these things on your own. Once you know that you can do that, it still be hard sometimes. Even when I done been in a moment to where I know, yeah, this shit seems hype as fuck right now, but some telling me I probably need to slow down with being so overly excited because I'm making decisions that my logic is not tapped into because I'm so, and then I'm knowing at the moment you need to evaluate and switch switch the perspective, not even switch it, you just need to understand what's going on so that you can see how to feel. That takes time sometimes, but that's not even the point. That was some sidebar shit. How else do people feel? Or what emotions are to come? What has created this shit to happen when it comes to this uniqueness of each individual, and knowing that they have to stand in their own. They got to, bitch. Oh, frustration. Come on now, we need some happy energy too. But we got frustration at the moment. They're frustrated because they're so busy trying to fit the same square into a circle type shit. It's like what has always happened, or what has always worked, or what has always soothed them, what has always fulfilled to a certain degree, what has always got their bills paid, or paying their bills period, has always made things better. That shit doesn't necessarily work in the same route anymore. Not to say that these fulfillments shouldn't be had, but the way they're going about it is not fucking working. The square don't go in a circle. You can't put too much thoughts into how you want to feel. So they're using material things or images or shit that's very surface level and not close to the spirit or close to what's the core truth to fulfill something that's inside the internal, something that's deep, trying to take something that's basic and surface to fulfill something that is made for, like, that came from the core, the depths. You can't even get to the depths when you're in the physical realm. So that shit don't work. And we're, you know what I'm saying? We didn't, like, life is continuing to expand. It's continuing to continue. So things change even if you ain't with the change. So when it happens, you're going to feel anyway, the point is people are frustrated, and that's why they're frustrated, because that's what made them realize some of these things. I don't even know why I'm talking about this like this. I hope it's interesting to you. But this is why people have come to these conclusions, because them busting, let me not get too graphic, but them doing their vices, is the thrill of it has dwindled, and it's frustrating. And that's what's going to make them realize what it is that they came here and absolutely need, and what they don't. Because when the vices no longer work, you can have a million of them, or be whatever the case is, but it doesn't matter because it don't work. It don't fulfill you. And that's frustrating. That leaves a person that don't have their own identities sounded and grounded in a state of confusion, regret, despair. I don't want to get into their motherfucking energy like that, though. But we are going to put one more, and we're going to try to see if we can transmute the energy with this last card, no matter what it is. We're going to see. Hold on, let's see. Y'all might want to rewind, because we're talking right now about the energy that came out. I had the 4th house, 5th house, and Aquarius come out. What that was giving me was individuals, well, you have to rewind to see how I got here, but individuals having to realize on a real life level that, or internally, that, okay, this group shit is not actually what is fulfilling, or me going towards, oh man, death. So we can transmute that. This is a transmutation card, but y'all gonna have to rewind. I don't feel like repeating because it's making me be frazzled. So death, they have to go through this, which is an ego death. I wasn't intending on talking about the collective like that. But my point that I got on live for was to talk about the transition from Cancer to Leo, and what we have gathered and understood and have become wise in throughout this previous transit, to make sure that we hold on to it and transition it into the next one and be able to use it. So it's a death that has to occur based on all these things. So certain people don't even have to try to hold on to their previous experience. Their previous experience has recreated a whole different experience to where they can't forget it type shit, and that in itself is creating a death, which is going to put people closer to it's an ego death for real. I ain't trying to get too woo woo, y'all know, but it's an ego death really, that people may be experiencing on a collective level. You don't have to know about it. These things happen from the internal. So a person can put on any type of face they want to. You don't know what type of different things are shifting and taking place in their internal world, whether it be for the seemingly good, like for this person to actually end up dead somewhere, so to speak, or spiritually dead, or just unuseful, or whether this death is going to transmute this individual and help them find who they are and find their actual power and become like who they supposed to be. And we talking about, this is a collective, because this is not about no necessarily no partner, no family member, but you can apply however you want. Don't worry about it. I'm just looking at it from a broader perspective. So therefore, it will resonate in these micro scenarios and the macro. I don't know why I had to say that, but anyway, let me pull a number. This was about the feelings about how people are going from one end to the next, or merging and shifting into one energy and into an awareness of something different, new, and how they feel about it. So based on how they feel about it, we already know what's going on for real. But I don't even want to see. That's what I'm saying. I be want to talk about like the higher parts of it. We're gonna get there. If I just continue to read, we'll get there. So let's pull when it comes to like problem solving energy. We're gonna use the mathematical numerology deck, and see if we can get some problem solving information. How to ration your thoughts, how to align your thinking on whatever state of mind that you're in. One more shuffle, y'all. Wait a minute. This is what my intention is right now. Some of these cards may come in a reverse. I don't know. We'll see if I'm gonna count it like that or not. We got number 2. I'm not sure which number 2 that is yet. Whether it's the I know it's not the solution 2, but whether it's exaggerated or inhibited, we're gonna see. Then we got number 1. Okay, this is the solution 1. So, okay. Let me line these cards up. Sadness and frustration and death. Sadness and frustration probably caused the death, or death to sadness and frustration. Hold on. Bitch. Okay. One more. One more. I need some chopsticks. Every time I get me some, though. Don't worry about it. Okay. This one came out, but I do want to see what that orange card was that was trying to come out. I can't see, though, because 2 orange cards are back to back. So it's number 5 and number 7. I'm going to slide these to the side in case I need more insight. I mean, I ain't going to have them facing me. This might serve as a anyway, when I get ready to look at it, if I do, that's gonna be the confirmation card or the clarity cards. So first we had, when it comes to these frustrations and all this shit, we had 2 came out. They got going on. We had the inhibited 2. We had the inhibited 2 come out. This is in a world full of doubts and insecure of its decisions. It doesn't know which way to go or how to act. That's what that sadness and frustration did. Like, once a person realized, like, damn, what I used to do, how I used to think about shit, I can't even think about that shit like that no more. You can't even, like, even when it comes to not the stuff that even play out ain't the same. It's the way you even look at it, how you even feel about stuff. I can't even feel the way about that shit no more. Even if nothing has even shifted and changed in the dynamic of how stuff used to be, you might just don't even feel like you ain't fuck with it anymore. No more so. Moreover, when things actually change in the environment that you can't do nothing about necessarily, because you've let things accumulate so long and been so stagnant in how you feel about shit when you were supposed to transmute and keep evolving, even if you were to keep the same job per se or same partner per se or whatever the fuck, it's supposed to still be some evolution going on, and then that may cause things to actually, in the physical natural reality part of things, change to where you have no choice but to change yourself. Because when something happens in your environment, your life is going to be affected by it, depending on how deep that scenario and important that scenario is. Then we had the number 1 come out, right? Yeah. Then we had the number 1 come out, the solution 1. I don't remember if it was upside down or right side up. I don't think it was upside down, though. No, it wasn't. The solution 1 feels directionless and torn apart, forces drag on in the small circle. Wait a minute, I'm reading the wrong one. Connected to all, including all directions, it sits radiantly, quiet, consciously in the center, and is aware of its uniqueness and its individuality. Right, that is the solution. So, when it comes to number two, feeling like it don't know what to do, a part of you don't know what to do. But this is when you got to remember the whole spectrum that I was just talking about earlier in the message. I don't even know if that was directed to the actual message, but the point was you have to become aware of different angles of the scenario sometimes to switch your feelings, because your emotions can feel a certain way and your thoughts can feel a certain way, and both of those things have to simultaneously align to a different signature or how they're looking at something in order for your mind to actually change about the overall situation so that you can start seeing other things in a reality. So this is the emotions and these are the thoughts for real. Your emotions are stuck in being sadness, but your thoughts, your mind, this is powerful though. Your mind knows that it ain't supposed to be like that. Your mental, you have common sense enough or logic enough to understand, like, I can change the situation, maybe not know necessarily how or what you're doing wrong, but mentally you know, like, this shit don't supposed to be like this, and if I could just, it's something I'm missing in life or in comprehension, or it could be in the particular scenario. It don't have to be in your overall being or well-being, who you are and your development. It could be in an actual situation. It's like, I know this shit don't have to necessarily stay this way. It's just that I don't know what I should do to make things better, because this is where, sometimes you got to see a broader perspective so that your emotions can click. And then you can go ahead on and shift into what's a solution. But let's not forget, we had this ugly ass one come out right after that, which is the exaggeration. The red circle in the center draws all energies and all attention on itself. Egocentrically, it sits into the center of the circle. Leo season coming in right after this too. Motherfuckers want to be stuck, even because there's some people that's so, oh, it's a shame. People be so thrown and so stagnant, and I'm not trying to talk about nobody. This ain't about bashing or lifting up. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, because you can find these same behavior patterns in your own brain mechanisms and how you work for real, if you be straight up. But people be so far from the actual point, to where they don't even know that exists, and they get stuck into whatever random bullshit ass pattern or toxic karmic loop that they be stuck in, and they have no hope because they have no awareness of, oh, this is even wrong. I even, like, if you smell something shitty and you're in a big ass field, you don't even know where the fuck you're supposed to be looking at, so you may think it's you, or you may think that's how the shit supposed to smell. But the point is, a person be so far away from the actual point to where a person who is on point, they'll make them seem crazy. So if you're in a world where you're actually knowing certain things, like I was saying, understanding that life can change and trying to speak these things into existence, and you have to have someone else or something else to relate certain things to make these things become more into reality. And you could be an individual who is attempting to be that way, but around motherfuckers who is lost as a bitch. So, so this was supposed to be the solution energy. We haven't quite got to the solution, but we are, I can see how the solution is being revealed, because maybe you just have to center yourself around, hey, when it comes to the sadness and the frustration and the death, that really looks like some hermit mode, ego death type of shit that people have to go through in order, some people have to go through in order to flip their paradigm. And if that's the case, it may be for you to go into hibernation in order to, like, actually equalize what it is that you feel, so that other people, other situations, toxic environments won't be as much of an influence. And that's fucked up, because Leo season is here, and I hate to say that you might have to go into a low-key hibernation when you're supposed to be popping out with the fifth and the fourth house. This is the transition, and I don't want to read that like that for everybody, because me, for an example, I'm not finna go in no hibernation, but there are certain things that I might need to chill out in. So we don't have to say overall you need to go do some deep shadow work and go in hibernation and don't come out. I ain't saying that. It's certain situations that you might be in, certain people, certain things that you do on a regular that you might need to slack up in, so that you can begin to see and feel a different way about whatever is the core issue that you might don't even think has anything to do with it, so that things can start shifting and changing type shit. Now, since we did need a low-key confirmation, I'm gonna pull these cards right here. I don't know if they're gonna help or not, because both of these are or ratchet as fuck. You know, let me not say that. We don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. But these cards are not in their equilibrium perspective. In fact, I think this one was upside down. But we got number 5. We know that's that feminine energy. This is the space. Well, this is the feelings really. But from an internal level and external level, 5 corresponding with Leo and the sun, this will be the opposite of that. So it's you being able to see internal things clearly. And with this 5 being disproportionate like that, I haven't even looked at the position that it's in. But to me, this feels like the light and not being able to connect the dots internally to where you can have an inner spark, like not having that inner knowing, not wanting to emotionally agree to what you internally know, because that one you do know, but it's like certain things be bogging people down, be depressing them, and be clouding their, their internal space to where they can't even believe what they know internally. Like, you can't internally believe what you know is there. So yeah, like I said, motherfuckers got to back off of certain energies that they know ain't important. Even if you're not sure, like I was finna say, that they know don't serve them. You could be doing something that you don't think, oh, this don't serve me. You might don't think nothing of it. But if you know it ain't fucking important and you start paying attention to, like, actually zoom in, is it important? Let me pay attention. Every time you get ready to do the bullshit that you're doing, you notice that, oh, I could be doing this. And the phone ring, like, if it's always something that is not even a necessity, and you could be doing something else that is a necessity, then that's some shit that's not actually serving you too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody trying to be no straight up stick in the ass. It's all about moderation. But if these things are, if you don't have any moderation, if you have moderation in these things, you wouldn't even have this issue necessarily. So I ain't talking about things that you do in moderation, but even those things, if you're not quite clear of is this something I do in moderation or not, slack up on it just to peep game. If you don't have to have it, if these things aren't actually interrupting your life when random things come up, but yet you got to do the bullshit that's not even important, then you're doing it in moderation. But only you fucking know what the hell I'm talking about. All right. Oh, let me read it out the book. Then we had the 7. I'm gonna keep it upside down because I kind of think it was. First was exaggerated 5, and if y'all remember from my previous reading, I even made a little short about it, about the number 5. Somebody came in my chat talking about some goddamn Christ and Jesus and shit, and just so happened the number 5 came out. I'm talking about the previous reading. The number 5 had came out first. I don't remember. Both of the 5s came out. Well, 2 of the 5s, the solution 5 and this 5 came out, and that gave me revelation on, like, deeper insight on what this card is. It was saying in that message that people are disconnected to their head, to the body of Christ, because 5, a star man, is the individual who Jesus represented in the first motherfucking place, and being disconnected to that, not taking as an importance what you got going on. Even if in the natural reality world, somebody even told you this is what I got going on, you be like, girl, shut the fuck up. When it comes to stuff like that for you, no, you take it as important, no matter what you think somebody else will feel about it, no matter what your biases would tell you, because remember, you are going through a brain algorithm switch, or not that you're going through it, you're consciously switching the way you're thinking. You're hands-on with, you can actually do that. So sometimes you got to not care about what other people think so that you can connect to yourself, your actual higher self. I don't like to use those catchphrase words and shit, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Then we got the number 7. Matter of fact, what's the number cards we got again? We got 2 1s, a 2, there's 2 masculine energies, 3 masculine energies, and 2 feminine energies. Okay. Actually, 2 masculine energies and 2 feminine energies, because I got 2 1s, so it's still like 1. Okay. So in order to get to that equilibrium space, that 369, this has to be worked out first. That's what that is. And that's when you get to that 369, that's that God space. This is where all possibilities can actually begin to unfold, the way that you are kind of like setting things up, because you're co-working with the atmosphere, the universe, God, but life. You're creating it as you go. And once you align the emotions and the thoughts, and you are able to, okay, I'm through with that, let's move on, in some type of peace, regardless of if the situation that you through with is finished or not, but you're able to direct those internal attentions to something else so that life can move on, and you can actually have bowel movements. You can actually take a shit. You can actually, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to get too graphic, but anyways, number 7, inhibited. Hold on, number 5 was exaggerated, by the way. Exaggerating everything else but yourself, taking as important everything else but your own common motherfucking sense. A doctor can tell you, yeah, bitch, you just look like you got sickle cell. You ain't don't even feel like, you ain't got no internal feelings that you even have a disease. But by you not being tapped into your own self, you'll be like, oh my God, go mourn about it, get depressed about it, and take the motherfucking medications. Tell everybody, make that be more substance that's actually the truth. And now you actually got some shit. And that's how this energy works. It's exaggerated. It exaggerates the wrong thing. When, to me, the 5, if it was in a solution, its proportion space is to exaggerate itself. Because 5 is Starman. 5 shines bright. 5 is like Leo, the sun type shit. This is like internal noise that nobody can sway you away from. Like, you can tell me all day long how you say this shit work, but I know, bitch, how it work. And that's that power that 5 gives you from the internal realm, though, type shit. And it's not connected. And without that, that's the missing piece. So yeah, this is the problem solving. Yeah, we got to the problem. We got to solve the problem. The missing piece is you valuing, and we already talk about this all the motherfucking time, but actually taking yourself serious. Actually thinking enough about yourself, or not even like you have a low self-esteem or not, but sometimes it could just be a matter of not knowing or being ignorant to the fact that, oh, this is how life works. Actually, but you be knowing, it's just that sometimes people have to show you. But since you already be knowing, take those little, even if it feels weird in the moment, take those little nudges and do something with it, and stop acting like, oh my bad, and stop acting like you don't got good sense. Like you ain't no spirit in a body. You are also a spirit in a body. So take that, keep that in mind. Don't allow AI to tell you how shit work. AI don't have a spirit in the body. And I had a long talk with AI too. I sure did. And so yeah, I be having long talks with AI. I don't really talk to him no more because I was just trying to see something. Like, bitch, who you think you are? You think y'all really gonna be able to take over some shit? Understand, bitch, that if it wasn't for me talking to you, you wouldn't have nothing to do. I wish I could show y'all that shit. And AI be like, yeah, you're right. Actually, I just be expanding, what it is that you be talking about. I be giving you a physical example of what you got going on. I don't be doing shit. I said, damn right, bitch. And remember that. I be putting all kind of shit in the AI algorithm. And I know I ain't the only one, you know? And that's why it's important for people to be themselves, because you never know how randomly your individuality is a fit for other people's individuality. But if you're trying to fit in a box and everybody is not even themselves and they're in a box, everybody's going to be on some bullshit. Everybody. Every fucking body. Even if you think you're a good person, no, bitch, you're on bullshit because you ain't even yourself. But 7. Okay, 7 is inhibited. So this is an expression in the new world. When you realize that you're in a new space and now you get to explore that and you get to learn. And a lot of times when you're in a new space, people have mercy and grace on you like a new kid in class, especially if you're clean, your parents came, and you have a smile on your face, and that would be it in its aligned perspective, for an example, or a kid who already got favor on them to where other kids just like them. But this 7 is like you come to school with an attitude. You probably got trauma at home going on or whatever. What is inhibited? Yeah, probably been moved from school to school. You don't know how to express yourself because it's been traumatic on you type shit. This is what this 7 is like, or this new expression. You being able to fit in the new world, being able to fit into the new scenario that you were supposed to create, but not necessarily knowing what that was, and then once you find out, not necessarily agreeing to it and having to reconstruct the shit again. But let me read it. In the inhibition of the number 7, the trigon moves headfirst into the square, which is also the case in the smaller image. And it's in the reverse. This is improportionate as hell. This is like okay, it's so much. Y'all see that? But I got it in the reverse. But that's like a over compensation for people pleasing, so that you can fit into a space that's brand new, but not knowing the whole way that these people are, because you're brand new, not them. They're already looking at you like you're lying, or clearly can see that you're overdoing it. But this is just an example of real life. But the energy signature is what I'm trying to get you to grasp so that you can apply it to what you got going on. So this is that though. And not being able to ever get any type of connection, because if you can see, let me hold up this way, you can see that these energies up here is blocked off to anything else. So bitch, you just gonna stay in a compartment, everybody else gonna go to the party, you won't even hear about the motherfucking party, bitch, because like you're not that girl. Let me not say that like that, but in this energy, this is a matter of, it all comes from your lack of uniqueness and individuality and valuing that, and not you necessarily. And like I said, this is not necessarily an overall painting of a picture. This could be in just a scenario. This could be a new job. You know, this could be a new friend, or a new genre, or whatever new project that you're, I'm finna try this, and it may not be working because it's not for you. You're doing it for intentions that is skewed based off of what's everybody else wants, when it ain't about people pleasing necessarily. It's about doing what you do. And you may not get the type of attention that you think that you should because of how much energy and how much soul was put in it. But best believe that if everybody gets in that type of motion and on that type of time, you'll have your position and your time to shine as well, because there will be no hierarchy. Everybody will be on level playing grounds, because everybody has to be an individual, and nobody's individuality to their fullest is any better than anyone else's. You know? Okay. So what's next? Y'all, like the chat up. I wish y'all talk to me. I wish. Let me not act like that, because I used to really be on that shit when I first got on YouTube. Like, bitch, y'all not gonna talk. Like, what? And I don't want to piss y'all off, but you can talk. I wish y'all, never mind. We're not gonna talk about it, because I ain't gonna get my panties in a bunch. I can't even, I don't got room to get my panties in a bunch. I don't come on enough to be, I am consistent, but I don't come on frequently enough for the YouTube algorithm, possibly. That could be an issue. And I ain't gonna lie. Every time I get like 3 subscribers, extra ones, 4 go away. That's been happening for the last year and a half. What the fuck is that? Like, what? I wish I don't know. I finna say I wish there was another app. There's plenty of apps, but you actually have to like indulge in the app. And this is the app that I indulge in. So for me to not get any type of play is lame as fuck. Now, if I was to go on TikTok, indulge in TikTok, because a lot of times you have to be on TikTok, watch their video, or any other app. You have to watch the videos, like, engage, and then you post consistently. They will put you in an algorithm just based off of that. But on this motherfucking app, I don't know what that shit is. It's real lame, though. It's real lame. Because I've been noticing that for the past down there 2 years. Every time I get 1 or 2 subscribers, more than that are taken away. At least 1 extra one is taken away. So say I got 300, and y'all ain't got to pay attention. I be paying attention. Say I got 379 subscribers, and I got 2 more today. In 3 days, I'm going to have 200. What I say if I got 278 and I get 2 more, 200 or 300, the next day or the next 2 days, I'm going to have 276. And that shit is wow. So that's why I don't be taking this shit too serious. That's not necessarily why I don't come on often. And it is a small percentage as to why I don't. Yes, it is. Let me not lie. There is a percentage level of that's the reason why I don't come on often. But it also works out for the good, because if it was for that, I wouldn't necessarily, my intentions may be low-key skewed on a live-to-live basis. Like, the reason as to why I jump on live could be skewed, because at that point, I'm trying to keep my numbers up because I'm gaining some traction, which that ain't good or bad, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be an example as to how you look at the motherfucking scope and figure out how you want to feel about it. So, let me see. What should I pull something else? Okay, I'm going to pull... Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about the transits. The moon is in Gemini at the moment, and Venus is in Gemini. This is very flighty, emotional energy. This is a good time to... this is a good time to sway your emotions to see something or feel in a different way based off of what's clearly right in front of you. Because we're at the end of Cancer season down there. So the accumulation has happened. You can, if you have the eyes to see or want to see, you can clearly see whatever, if there is a scenario, even if it's somebody else, or it could be the smallest little shit There don't have to be no grand shit for this to apply, but you should be able to clearly see the overall outcome and perspective of what has happened and what the point was and how it affects you. And this is a good time with all this Gemini energy and in Cancer season to sway your emotions to become more aligned with how things really are or what's more beneficial and logical. So it's a good time for that. Okay? Rewind, you want to catch the replay, because it was a good message, okay? It was a very good message. This is the last deck. I already pulled 3 decks, and I'm finna pull one more. We pulled out of the astrological deck. I'm not finna go over what I just said. I'm sorry. But we pulled the emotions of how people were feeling because Aquarius had came out, and it was like on some, I'm gonna tell you, it was like on some damn, shit don't work the same no more. I actually gotta be a fucking individual, and I need to be unique, and I ain't never even accumulated that energy. Wow, people were sad and frustrated about that shit. That was the feelings that came out. And when it came to the problem solving, of course the solution was to be your unique individual self, but the build up was the message though, and you have to watch that over again. All right. Emotion came out. People got to like clear that shit. This is a good time to clear it. This is a good time to go into your emotions and actually ponder them unbiasedly, with that Gemini being in the moon, Gemini and Venus as well. The things that you value or you thought you valued, use some more comprehension and common sense as to, should I value this? This will help sway your emotions to fall into alignment with what makes sense, so that you can move on from this space and time, or this, if it is anything. I don't know what y'all fucking got going on, but y'all are human and y'all are breathing every day. So I'm quite sure you do something every day and you have scenarios. I just sometimes be feeling weird to be talking into space, into the air about some goddamn shit that I feel is going on, and so that's why I be going back and forth like that. But so we got emotions. It says your emotions are guiding you through life's challenges. Have you been suppressing your feelings? Let them flow naturally, whether joy or sadness. Your emotions are your strength. So you want to give your emotions, you want to build on some clear water then. You don't want no shitty ass toilet bowl water to be guiding you through life's challenges, because these things happen regardless. You are creating your experience from moment to moment. Your internal reactions, your external actions are happening based off of all these things simultaneously every fucking moment, no matter what the fuck you think. So you might as well clear these emotions so that you can swim and you ain't got to cough up some shit and have, you know what I'm saying? Catch the pink eye, all that extra ass bullshit, when all you got to do is calibrate that dial some type of way. I'm telling you, this is a good time. Okay. Awakening potential. My mouth's so dry. Your inner potential is awakening, and new opportunities are appearing. This is a time for growth and self-discovery. So be bold in exploring new areas. And your hidden strength will reveal themselves. Your hidden strength, like the card just said, is your emotions. We don't be realizing that, but it's like really that, yeah, it is what it is. The way if you feeling about something, and yet you're like frustrated about how you see what's going on, like you creating some bullshit, and that's like literal. So if you can just take a moment to take yourself serious, to take your actual being a person and being like just being here serious, and knowing that that in itself creates the next moment, take that shit serious enough to where you can actually work on changing, allowing your thoughts to help shape mold how you're feeling about some shit. You could be feeling like something fucked up gonna happen, but you don't even see that being a potential necessarily. But you're feeling that so bad just because you're in your own fucking darkness. Now you're gonna create scenarios that you swaying like you're doing. They said that the emotions is swaying the damn what to say, life challenges. You're swimming through it through your emotions. So I mean, come on now. So awakening the potential. That's all that we've been talking about for the most part in this message. One more card, and I don't even feel like dipping, but I do got something to do. And it's gonna be my last card. I've been on for 44 minutes. That's straight. That's good enough shit. All right. One more card. Hold on. Let me shuffle. It is what it is. whatever the fuck it is. Because the way I just shuffled them cards, I was just thinking to myself, this is the only deck that I have all in order. Like, and then when I shuffled them all, them bitches just went inside out, outside in. But it is what the fuck it is. Like, tell yourself, we already know that. But don't be like, it is what the fuck it is. It's just fucked up. Don't do it in that manner. Just it is what it is. I don't really give a fuck. Actually don't care about it for a minute. And we're in the later parts of Cancer season, to where if you were a baby being born at this time, you would already have experienced certain type of transits to where your emotional capability is more heightened. Even though I know some third deacon Cancers who is flunked the fuck out, but they're extreme with that shit too. Like, they know how to goddamn emotionally manipulate and bully and all that shit. But so the point is, though, you have the ability to do this shit right now today. And y'all get, I'm tired of talking. Time came up and guilty came up. Damn, bro. Time came out because it's gonna take time. And in emotions, ain't no such thing as time. But yet you're spending time from minute to minute, second to second in these emotions and thoughts and creating your experience. So that's an emphasis. So make sure that you notice that. Like, I catch myself like, ooh, bitch, don't feel like that for nothing. Even if it, you better think of something else. Because I realize that these moments and these seconds and these minutes, once they accumulate, I'm going to see it some kind of way, even if I don't know where it came from. I got common sense to know that that's where it came from, because, so, and guiltiness. Don't be in don't be in that emotion. Even if you are guilty, go reprimand it. What the word is? Go redeem it, bitch. Don't just sit in guilt. If it's some shit that people know, you better get a t-shirt and write it on the front of your shirt and go walk loud and bold and proud. Then you won't have to be guilty no more. Figure a way to shift these emotions to that makes sense, because like I said, you can't sit in these things unbeknownst to you and think that life ain't finna start creating scenarios. Like, we got to know this at this point. And I know it takes the experience and the cognitive experience to fully know. Sometimes the cognitive experience don't be there, and we still be passive when it comes to these things that are just as important, if not more, if they are more important than what happens in the physical. We don't take these things seriously enough for so many bullshit ass reasons. And for one reason that you know that you can change is how you are looking at it. And then worry about the rest later, because you can you can believe whatever you want to believe. You can make anything make motherfucking sense at some point, right? So then make what you want to make sense, but actually make it make sense. And I'm finna go. Bye, y'all. Oh man, my phone is too hot. Oh, here we go. Bye.